Hello and welcome to Pockenrop. Today's video sees me continuing my top 15 number one singles of the decades, this one being the 2010s. By no means my favourite decade musically, but there were many really good singles released in this decade. This is the decade of the feat, as in so-and-so featuring somebody else. So many songs carry that as the artist's title. And there'll be a couple in here. As ever, I have used PubMeeple to do my ranking. So let's dive in at number 15, which is Candy by Robbie Williams. I think Candy is one of his strongest singles from his entire career, let alone that decade. I think I might be right in saying it's his only number one of the 2010s, but it's such a good, enjoyable pop song. Comfortably one of his best, my number 15. And at number 14, I have placed Katy Perry and Raw. Now, this song was ubiquitous during that decade. The video's fantastic, really, really entertaining. And I've actually gigged this song. More to the point, I have gigged it at exactly the same time as Candy. By what I mean is I have smushed them two together. They have got a similar stylistic vibe, and actually they make a great mashup when you push them together. Raw is my number 14 by Katy Perry. And number 13 is the Cuban-themed Havana by Camila Cabello. Really, really enjoyable song. And the Cuban style of music really lifts it. I mean, it's called Havana. Really enjoy listening to Havana. It's a great number one single. And number 12, he had a whole raft of singles that reached the top during this decade, but this is my particular favorite. It's a beautiful love song. It's Ed Sheeran and Perfect. This has vibes of one of my other favorite songs, which is Wonderful Tonight. You look perfect tonight. It's to be honest, it's Wonderful Tonight rewritten. Perfect by Ed Sheeran, my number 12. And number 11 is All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor. What can you say about a song that is about being comfortable in your own skin? And in this case, maybe having a slightly bigger backside than some others when it's all about that bass. It's really actually quite positively life affirming. And congratulations to Meghan Trainor on going for that. But it's almost bubblegum pop. It's really enjoyable song. And there's something about so many songs in this list that I'm not a fan of the artist particularly, but it's recognizing that a great pop song is a great pop song. And actually, if you take it out of context and play it, it can be thoroughly enjoyable. There's a really good cover version of All About That Bass by Postmodern Jukebox where they throw it into a 1920s, and the song seriously stands up as a quality song. And the same can be said of my number 10 pick. I don't like Little Mix. I don't like the whole X Factor thing of manufactured pop. But Black Magic is a great pop song. That wouldn't have been out of place as a single in almost any decade. It's really good. I really enjoy Black Magic, despite the fact that you can take Little Mix, and I wouldn't want to really listen to almost anything else they did. But Black Magic is superb. And number 9 is another great pop song. It is Bad Romance from Lady Gaga. I quite like the first Lady Gaga album, The Fame, and indeed the kind of follow-up from which Bad Romance comes, which is The Fame Monster. And Bad Romance is a really, really strong single. My number 9. At number 8 is a band that recently split up. It's Daft Punk and Get Lucky. This is actually a sublime track. Everything about it just works. And I'm not a dance fan, I'm not a Daft Punk fan, but the blend that includes Pharrell Williams on this is just right. Get Lucky, Daft Punk. At number 7, I have placed Forget You by CeeLo Green. Yes, Forget You, not its other title. I enjoy the occasional soul track, and this plugs that gap. I think it's a very, very strong song. I like CeeLo Green's vocals, and I think Forget You is a really good song. It's my number 7. And number 6 is the ubiquitous song that is Shotgun by George Ezra. It seems to be one of those songs that inhabited the summer. You heard it everywhere. It's a song that when it comes on, everyone knows. Even my mum likes George Ezra. And Shotgun, whilst I don't think it is the best song that he has released as a single, nor do I think it is the best song on Staying at Tamara's, is his best number 1. And so, Shotgun, number 6. And number 5, I have placed an artist that I didn't even know existed until after his suicide. And it is Avicii. And the track I've picked is Wake Me Up. I think it's his strongest number 1 single. It is dance music, but it is dance music with a great pop feel to it. Really, really strong song from the True album. And again, it's not my favourite Avicii song. That is definitely The Nights, but it didn't reach number 1. Wake Me Up did. You know what? There may come a time when I do a top ranking of my favourite Avicii songs, because there's so many great stuff that he did. And he's a sad loss. Number 5, Wake Me Up by Avicii. And number 4 is a huge hit from 2019, the most recent song on this list. It is Someone You Loved by Lewis Capaldi. This is just I think it's actually the first ballad that I've actually put on this list so far. But it is a achingly beautiful ballad. It's really, really strong. And I've had the joy of playing this to an audience. Now, I wouldn't say I gigged it exactly, but just before the lockdowns and stuff hit in 2020, I was invited into my daughter's school to play music and sing songs, but they were doing about different musical styles. And along with Shotgun, I played Someone You Loved to a critical class of Year 5 kids, including my daughter, who was really quiet that day. I think it's a really, really beautiful song. It's my favourite song of 2019, actually. Someone You Loved by Lewis Capaldi at number 4. And number 3 is the person who I think is artist of the decade, and that's Adele. And it is Someone Like You. The second ballad I've placed on this list, and the last. And another achingly beautiful song about breakup. This song was the second single from 21. And she sang this at the Brit Awards, and everyone kind of went, wow, this song is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. It's got to be released as a single. It was released as a single and hit number 1. I also considered Hello from the 25 album, but my rules tend to be you only have one per artist. And I think Someone Like You is the best song. Hello would have comfortably made the top 10, possibly even the top 5, but Someone Like You is better. And number 2, she gets a second entry, but as a featured artist, it's Charlie Puth featuring Meghan Trainor and Marvin Gaye. This is just a joyous song, and yeah, it's a bit risque, as a lot of songs in the 2010s were, but I really enjoy Marvin Gaye. It's the interplay between the two of them when they're singing it just works. It's a really, really strong song. And then finally, my number 1 pick of the 2010s is Bruno Mars. Now, he had a few number 1 singles, but I think his strongest was Just the Way You Are. Not the Billy Joel song, I'd like to point out, but if you haven't heard Just the Way You Are. I go and seek it out from his debut album, Doo Wops and Hooligans. Everything about it works as a single. His vocals soar across it. It's got an absolutely wonderfully lifting chorus. And it's the best thing, in my opinion, that Bruno Mars did. Bruno Mars is a quality artist. But Just the Way You Are, best thing, best single, best number one of the 2010s for me. That concludes my top 15 number one singles of the 2010s. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What have I missed out? What would you have included that I didn't? It wasn't an easy decade in many ways to identify a lot of songs from, because as I say, there's so many songs that just don't appeal to my musical preferences. But I found 15 banging songs that I think make a really good playlist. I've made a playlist which you can find on Spotify. You'll find the link to that in the description below. But until next time, please remember to like the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell for the notifications, and I'll see you next time.